Yeah, my name is Niko. I'm a personal trainer. Sorry, I'm an unemployed actor. I just moved here from New York, you know, and I wanted to start doing some comedy, so I took this class. I've been going to some open mics. I'll go with a friend of mine, and I'll send him in first. I get a little nervous right when I get to the door, and I'll call him. I'll say, "What's the crowd like?" He'll be like, "Mostly Tauruses, Virgos, a couple Capricorns." Not particularly helpful. Where are my single ladies at?
Woo!
Okay. Love is real. Where are my single ladies who suck dick at? This could go poorly. Well, if they weren't here, have I got news for you? Apparently, all the straight guys are at these open mics. And as it turns out, straight guys don't really relate to stories about Botox and getting double penetrated. Which is about half of my material. They say write what you know. But you know, I'm cool with straight guys. I like straight guys. I actually, I have a straight brother. I love him just the same. When he brought home his first girlfriend, we all knew, and I went up to him and I said, "Listen, I just want you to be happy, and I want you to be proud of who you are. I want you to have as much anal as you want." I've got a gay sister. She's actually here tonight. Give it up. Yeah, I would describe her as like a hippie lesbian psychologist. Well, she was going to be a gynecologist, but now I guess it's really more of a hobby. I was home the other weekend, actually. Last weekend I was home visiting family, which was, you know, irritating. My cousin just had a baby. She's fabulous, and she just had a baby, and my mom, she gets launched into this typical monologue that she's been giving me ever since I was a kid. You know, once you have kids, it'll all make sense. You know, that moment when your baby that you made reaches out and grabs a hold of your pinky, you will experience a bond of human connection that you can't understand unless you've experienced it. Which is a little insensitive to say to a gay person. It's insensitive to say to a gay person. But listen, what I want to tell her is that I experience connection all the time, but for me, it's less so with a babe and more so at the club. My best friend Ethan and I used to go to the club every Saturday night. We used to do everything together. We were roommates for 3 entire years. We do everything from the party, pre-workout party, and then we go to the pregame and take the cab all the way to the club. But let me tell you something, this bitch on her first night out, you will never find her, okay? She just vanishes into thin air. So this one night, we go out, okay, with a crew of our friends, right? And we all hit our places. My friends go to the dance floor, Ethan evaporates, and I'm on all fours in the dark room. And if you don't know what a dark room is, it's a room at the end of a gay club, usually, and well, while it looks a lot like a dark room that a photographer might use to develop their photos, the only thing you're going to develop in there is a burning sensation when you pee. So, now I got to tell you, the story is it's not a sex story. It's a story about friendship, right? So you got to imagine me and this guy and what was his name? I need a name. What's your name? Quentin. We're gonna call him Quentin. So Quentin and I are in the dark room, and listen, you have to know this information for the story, okay? Quentin comes in me, and you know, this was a very successful darkroom experience. It was super hot, and we even took a post-coital bump of cocaine on the way out, you know, to sort of celebrate it. And you know, as I'm walking out, I lock eyes with yet another hot guy that I love to hug, and I'm like, oh, I gotta follow this guy. And sure enough, I'm back on the dance floor. This guy says to me, Quentin, he says something. I'm like, what did you say? What? He says, I said, do you have any brothers and sisters? I say, yeah, I'm gonna go back in there. He says, yeah, cool, see you later. I'm back in the dark room. I feel like Nicole Kidman in Practical Magic when she goes through that pool party scene. You know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't watched the movie, it's the season. And I go and I walk up to this guy and I say, hey, I Niko. He says, I'm Fergal. I say, I'm sorry to hear that. Listen, this guy just dumped his load at me. I wondered if you wanted to do the same. He says, that's hot. So we start getting it on, okay, in the steamy dark room, there's like other guys hooking up around us. He turns me around to start making the beast with two backs. Well, actually one back. One back in like 6 feet. And anyway, now would be a good time to remember that your asshole isn't just for anal. So, despite my very sophisticated measures to prevent this from happening, you'll have to take my word for it. I poop on him. Not a lot, but enough. He asked for the lube, not the weather. And I say, I'm so sorry, I think we have to stop. I think I need to go to the bathroom. He was like, I was like, I'm so embarrassed. He says, don't be embarrassed. You'll never see me again. And he whisks off into the dark. So I scoot up my pants, I scoot my little tush off to the bathroom, I grab a roll of soapy paper towels, and I try to clean up my fucking ass cheeks as best as I can, right? And I'm like, I need my sister, right? I gotta call Ethan. Ethan, I call him phone. You can never find her normally, but sure enough, she appears 30 seconds later, swinging her purse over her shoulder. He's like, what do you need? And I say, I need you to smell my butt. He says, what? I tell him what I just told you. I'm like, so I need to know if I need to go home or not. I'm like, I need you to smell my butt. He goes, okay. There's something. I say, okay. I had a really good time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. He says, take your pants off. I say, what? He says, take your pants off. I take my pants off. He's like, turn around, bend over. And then he reaches his tiny little hand and grabs a vodka soda that someone hadn't finished on the toilet, pours it on my cheeks. A little sprinkle of lemon. Pats me dry. And you know, there was a bond of human connection. You can't quite understand unless you've experienced it. And I hope you never have to. Thank you so much.